Hey everybody, Rick with Rick's Adventures. In this video, I'm going to cover a road trip Tia and I took on our Royal Enfield Classic 350 from Koh Sila, Thailand to Nakhon Phanom up on the border of Laos, and show you what my impressions were of how the bike rode and show you around in the town there a little bit. So stay tuned and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hey everybody, Rick here. Thought I would give you a video on our first little road trip on the new Royal Enfield Classic 350. We bought this to use as a touring bike. I was a little skeptical because of the size. It's just a 350cc, but I also know that a smaller bike is a lot easier to ride here in Thailand, especially when you get in villages and on back roads. So Tia and I decided we had a break-in period of 500 kilometers before I take it back in for service, and decided we'd take a weekend trip to Nakhon Phanom, which round trip, I don't know, we had probably about 350 kilometers. We took it down and stayed, that's on the border of Laos and along the Mekong River, and so we packed up the saddlebags and loaded both ourselves up and left Koh Sila at about 9 a.m. in the morning, and decided we would make a run there to see how the bike did. I must say that so far I was really impressed with it. The bike ran absolutely flawlessly. People had been telling me things like they were afraid a 350 would be too small, and especially for two up with the saddlebags packed up. And I can tell you it's absolutely wrong. I mean, it's not a powerhouse. It's not like we're going to wheelie or just go screaming down the road, but it held the speed limit. I was running 90 and 100 kilometers the entire trip. We were both on it. I weighed 200 pounds. Tia's probably about 100 pounds, and we had the saddlebags packed full. I could pass without any issues whatsoever. I would be going down the road. I rode part of the time in the motorcycle lane, which is on the left on the major highways, but generally that's because the bikes are slower. Once I got used to the comfort level that this bike had plenty of power with both of us, I could just ride in the normal lanes and pass like every other automobile on the highway. No issues at all. I will say that, you had to allow yourself a little more time for passing than if I was on a bigger bike like my Harley or Africa Twin, but it had plenty of power. The worst thing I had to do a couple times was downshift into fourth gear from fifth and crack on the throttle a little bit, and I could pass cars easily. Never had any issues with that whatsoever. The comfort level on the bike for both of us, it was extremely comfortable. It's actually more comfortable than my Africa Twin. I ride my Africa Twin for about an hour, and my backside's in pain. I've got to stop and stretch. This bike, I asked Tia how she felt on it while we were riding. She was perfectly comfortable. We only stopped once, and that was just to get fuel, and got off for a minute. And we were on the bike, I'd say approximately, we weren't in a rush. We were kind of taking it slow and easy on it. Probably between 2 and 2 hours and 30 minutes to get there one way. Neither one of us felt fatigued. The bike didn't have any problems whatsoever. It handled very smoothly on the road. Real easy ride. Very flickable. It was just a real charm to ride. So, and I know I'm still in the honeymoon period with it at this time, but so far it's turned out to be a really smart investment, I think, for the kind of riding we're going to do. We're not going to be doing any heavy adventure riding on, a lot of hard, let's say, dirt trails. Some of the roads might be dirt and gravel, but this bike handles that without any problem. We're not climbing up mountains or doing anything radical, so it fits our bill really good. It shifts smooth. The power band is smooth. It's kind of like a tractor in a way with that thumper motor. It just chugs along and doesn't have any problem whatsoever. This thing sips fuel too. It's averaging about 75 to 80 miles per gallon. We went on the trip and spent approximately 350 baht round trip to get us there and back, which was I'd say about a third of what it cost us when we take the SUV. It's very economical, and it's a really appealing bike. Every place we went on it, people came up and looked. It's got that old classic British look. and that makes me proud of it, made Tia really proud of it. So it was enjoyable, and it kind of takes you back to a simpler time, because the bike's simple. It doesn't have all of the fancy electronics. You just got your analog speedometer. It's just a pretty basic bike and just thumps along. It's made to ride like we used to ride in the 50s and the 60s on them, and it's a little slower paced type of riding, but it's really suitable to a lot of people here in Thailand, I think. I'm going to switch over now and start showing you what it was like in Nakhon Phanom, and the rest of this is just pretty boring ride. You know, it was exciting for us, but boring for you. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the marketplace and where we stayed. This is a balcony view from the hotel we stayed at. That's the Mekong River you see there in the background. It's getting to be late afternoon, and they're just now starting to set up the market. This is actually a road you drive on up and down through here, but on the weekends, on Friday and Saturday nights, they close the road down on each end along the boardwalk, and people set up the marketplace. It's a really cool deal. The room we stayed in was very nice, and it was extremely cheap. We paid 900 baht per night for it, which comes out to about 23 or 24 US dollars. It's just not much at all to have a balcony off of your room and sit out here and look at the river and be able to watch the market. We had a little table and chairs we could use to sit at if we wanted to. It was very enjoyable. So now I'm going to leave this hotel room with Tia, and I'm going to take you and walk you down through the market. Here we are in the marketplace, and there's my beautiful girl Tia leading the way. It's the early part of the evening, and we just went downstairs, going down through to make our first pass. There's a lot of the vendors still setting up things. Guys, you can find just about everything here, and the cost is just so cheap. Compared to the cost I pay for things back in the States, we bought some clothing items, some t-shirts, some food, different things that, you know, just on a whim as we walk down through. And that's what really most people do here. They come in here of an evening, and once it gets filled up and all of the vendors set up, this place gets absolutely packed. They have just everything imaginable, from shoes to musical instruments to clothing to food to specialty items, plants, you name it, they've got it here. The people here are very kind too. We generally go down through the market and always meet new people that we've never known, just casual acquaintances. We'll be going someplace to dinner, and somebody will see me and see I'm a Farang, and they're from Laos or from other areas in Thailand and want to ask me where I'm from, and next thing you know, we've struck up conversations and started talking and just having a good time. We met a lot of different people this trip. I'll show you their pictures. Super nice people from Laos. They had dinner with us. We had drinks together later in the evening, and we just had a really wonderful time together. We exchanged phone numbers with them, and the next time we get a chance, we're going to go over into the border of Laos. They said to call them on the weekend before we ride over. They'll set up, make arrangements on some place for us to stay, and we'll all go out to dinner, and they can take us and show us around some. So we always have a fascinating time whenever we go here. We always have a great time here. This area I like better than Nong Khai. Nong Khai I've done another video on, and it's further the other direction. It's quite a ways away from here, from this spot in Nakhon Phanom. But I think I like it better at this area along the border, because everything is just, it's a little bit cleaner. It's cleaner, there's more items, more things in the market. It's a little more vibrant feeling for some reason. Sometimes in Nong Khai it feels a little almost too slow, and there's not as much to do and going on, and it's a little too lazy for my taste. Here we can go, if we want it lazy of a morning, the street's dead. No marketplace, nothing's here. It's just all boardwalk. You can go out and walk literally for 10 kilometers to get exercise, or run if you want along these paths like you see. They have bicycle paths, they have walking paths all up and down along the river. It's a really, really pretty area. You can see Tia's going now. She's getting ready. We're walking over, and I'll show you. They have large dinner boats, and this is one of them that you can go and you can make a reservation, go on it, and they'll take you all up and down the border of Laos along the Mekong River, feed you a really nice dinner. I can't remember the exact cost of it, so I don't want to say, but we checked on one of these in Nong Khai, and it was relatively cheap. I can try to find out. If I can, I'll post it there. I just don't remember off the top of my head, and I don't want to tell you wrong. You can see in the distance there the mountains in Laos. This video does not do them justice. They're just absolutely stunning. They have these really odd shapes, and they're tall and very steep and just almost volcanic or very Jurassic Park looking to me. And I really like it, and so does Tia. We just think it's really, really pretty place. She's so, see, she's always smiling. You know, gotta love the girl. She's always smiling. And here are some. They have a lot of these weird little statues up and down the road for kids and people for photo opportunities and different things like that. Really ornate lighting with golden dragons, and you can see there was a guy that was out there playing music and singing for tips. It's just a really kind of laid back atmosphere. It kind of reminds me in a way back in my home state of Missouri. I'll travel over into Arkansas to a little town called Eureka Springs, and it reminds me of that. Just kind of a laid back, a lot of music, a lot of food, a lot of people. Everybody seems at ease. I never see any problems, never see any trouble with anybody. Just everybody's there always having a good time. A lot of families, a lot of young people, a lot of older people. I see a lot of expats. I see a lot of people from Laos come over there quite a bit. I see some Chinese people, some Koreans, but not as many there as I do in some of the other areas that we go to. I would say probably I see more people from Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos here than I do of any other type, and Thai people. Some Americans, very few, very, very few actually, from the USA. I do see some from Germany and from France, or not France, I'm sorry, from Switzerland. I always see a lot of people from Switzerland and Norway in these areas. Alright guys, that's going to pretty well wrap it up for this video. You can only see so much of a marketplace, and then it's going to get boring to you. I hope you did like it. I wanted you to see, so you know if you travel to Nakhon Phanom, what you will see and what it's like, and give you a feel for what the culture is there. I really enjoy it. I enjoyed it so much that we're going to go back again this next weekend, take the bike, ride back. This time we're going to go with some friends, and we're going to stay a couple days at the same place. I'll close the video by showing you our new friends we made while we're there that are from Laos and who we will be visiting soon, so I can bring you another adventure. Take care, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell. You know, the same old gig. I really appreciate it. Take it easy, everybody.